I've wanted to. I haven't yet.
You on the podcast?
Yes, I've definitely. In the beginning recordings, remember when we used to do them at my house?
Yes.
I definitely wanted to kick people out.
Wow.
Because they were being ridiculous.
We could dive into that later on.
And you got to keep the mic up. I've definitely wanted to kick people out. Like, you know what? I don't, and then I just never had them on my show again, and that was that. So I didn't kick them out. I just didn't.
So guys, if you don't see me back on the show, you know why.
Well, we invite crazy. We actually like crazy.
We do.
But in 5 years, no one has ever been kicked off.
No, they have not.
I'm not
got a goal.
saying
I'm going
that should
No.
be.
I'm gonna go for it.
I'm not saying that should be the goal,
I like
but
challenges.
It's not a challenge at all in any way, shape, or form.
don't.
So, Mr. Superbones, tell us who you are.
I'm Superbones. I've been a DJ for about 25 plus years. I am the owner of Supah Concepts. I'm also a co-owner of Soundscape Sound Systems. I'm part of the staff of Southern and Lime.
Hey.
I own my own electrical company.
Hey.
I'm also an AAU basketball coach.
Oh.
I have a hookah company
Okay.
and a few other little random endeavors.
Nice. I like that. I like that. Okay. Okay.
Try to stay busy.
So wait, was that a resume for the ladies? Are you single and mingling,
I am absolutely single.
are you mingling?
No, I'm just single. That's
Just
what I'm
single, single and not mingling.
I'm not mingling
However,
because-
when he does decide to mingle, that is his resume, y'all. Sounds pretty decent.
I won't even tell them that when I'm mingling.
Well, if they're watching Pandagasms, they're gonna find out. Somebody gonna tell somebody.
Somebody gonna tell somebody. That's how it go.
Neddie Boo, do you have any questions for Mr. Darnell?
Not yet.
Mr. Superbones, I'm sorry.
I'm kind of scared of this one.
Why are you scared of Neddie Boo?
I'm
The
the
way she looked
nicest
at
one
me,
on the
she looks
show.
dangerous.
I am the nicest one
She looks
here.
dangerous.
She can be.
Oh, can we pick up the AV team too? Big up
Yes,
the
we
AV
always big up AV, Mr.
Yeah, big
AV
up the
Hobby in the
AV.
back. He likes to be behind the scenes.
Yeah, no, it looks-
With that being said, y'all ready to dive into the topics?
Yeah,
Yes.
let's do it.
All right, so our first topic for tonight is, do men hold men accountable? You're the guest. We popping your cherry. You go first.
Okay. Okay. So the question is, do men hold other men accountable?
Well, let me specifically
let me answer
to you.
me.
Yes, yes.
This is how I look at it. Initially, I stay quiet and see what's going on. Now, if the girl in the situation has certain qualities and you can see certain things in her that warrant being, dedicated to, then I would say something to my friend. If she's for the quote unquote streets, and I know that, I'm not gonna say anything.
I have a question already.
Okay.
Is this question, do men hold men accountable, strictly in relation to their romantic relationships, or are we talking about
No. Okay.
all around in general? Because there are other scenarios
There's
where.
other scenarios too. Like if it comes to children, I'm holding you accountable.
Okay.
Immediately.
So
For me, it was a general question because I did think of things like that. Like if, they're being a bum and don't want to get up and go look for work, like, okay, let's process this. Are you depressed or are you just being a bum?
Yeah.
A lot of it is just being a bum. It's not being depressed.
So then there's that part. So it's all around as far as romantic
all
relations, just in life in general. Do you see when your friends are doing something and you sit them down like, hey, what are you doing?
I'm very outspoken, so my friends know that I would say something to them. But on the back end of that, I'll also try to put them on to something.
So you come with solutions.
I will come with a solution. If I don't have a solution, I will just say, you got to do better, and I'll exit stage. If I know you can do better, then I will say, yo, maybe you should try to do this, or come do this with me. Maybe I might ignite a little fire for them to try to do something.
Right.
But you could take a horse to water.
Listen, but you can't make them drink, and you can't be wanting more for people than they want for themselves too. So there's that.
And it snowballs though. It snowballs because once you tell them that, if they don't follow suit, that's when I've noticed that jealousy becomes a factor.
Now you think you think you're better
Now they
than
don't
them
fuck with
because
you.
And now they don't fuck with you. Or
Because you don't fuck with them.
Because you don't fuck with
you
them.
don't agree with
Yeah.
They're not
what they
doing the
got
same
going
shit
on.
that they're doing.
right.
You know what I mean? Like
that.
I got a million friends that smoke, but I'm big on first impressions. I got friends that I've gone places and they want to smoke in the car and then come inside. You smoke in the car, bro, stay out here till that shit's gone.
Right.
Because I'm sitting in offices with millionaires. You can't come in there
smelling like that.
Loud.
Because you heard his resume. So
you heard his resume.
It has nothing to do with my resume.
You're professional. You're a professional.
I'm a professional person.
And I like the fact that you have boundaries when you're being professional, because not everybody has that. And you sounds like you're standing 10 toes on it. Like, look, you're not doing this. Not with me, you're not. Right. You could do it with somebody else, but you're not doing it with me.
And then the snowball effect happens when I'm getting the job or the contract or the flight booked and you're stuck at home. You understand why.
So I have a question. Has anyone ever held you accountable for something?
All the time.
And all the time?
All the time.
Same person or multiple people?
Multiple people.
Oh,
I've been blessed to have people in my life that if I'm messing up, they are telling me. You guys know my brother, first off, he's an idiot. But
yeah. I'm not saying yes, he's an idiot.
So I know your brother, but I don't know him. I know he's your brother, but we've never sat down, had conversations. I don't know him as a person.
Like me, and he's going to tell me.
I barely know you as a person. So then there's that part.
Yeah, if you guys were listening earlier on, you guys would have a little backstory on me and
we knew each other in high school. We don't know each other as adults.
Right, which is crazy because we see each other all the time.
We see each other all the time. And the city's this big. But anyway, neither here nor there. The fact that you're able to accept constructive criticism, or whether it's positive, is a good thing, because not everyone is able to be in a receiving space. When people come to them and say, hey, I've noticed this, have you ever thought of that? They definitely will turn it around and be like, why don't you mind your business? You know, some people give that as a response. And the fact that you said you are blessed to have people to hold you accountable is a plus, because a lot of people don't find that to be a blessing.
Oh, no, because I know how retarded I can be at times.
Mercy.
I know it. I know, you know.
At least you know when your caca stinks.
I know when I'm...
See, and that's the whole thing about self-accountability. That's wonderful. You can hold yourself accountable, too. Yeah. That's a bonus.
I've done a lot of retarded things in my day.
We got a question from AV.
Yo, you brought up a good point. I think you missed it, because he said he could be an asshole sometimes, right? Something like that. I think I get what you're saying, because there's a thin line between holding somebody accountable and being a dick to somebody, or just being an asshole. I grew up in Boston, like you. Like, dudes in Boston, yo, we talk shit. You talk a lot of shit. You gotta have a thick skin. And I think a lot of people sometimes, when you're holding somebody accountable, right?
They don't know how to present it.
They don't know how to present it, and then even if they don't know how to present it, the people taking it don't know how to get over the fact that it's something they should have heard, but just because it was done in a way they didn't like, they're not going to accept it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So how do you navigate that when you're trying to hold people accountable?
So, you want to go?
I function off of giving me options. You have to give me an option. Like, yo, I think you should do it like this. Don't tell me to do something a certain way, because I'm not going to do it because you're telling me to do it.
I heard that before from people.
Huh?
That's very Taurus of you.
I am a Taurus. You know?
We know.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying that. That's
like,
very Taurus of you.
Give me an option, because obviously I put some thought into this before. So don't tell me to pick this cup up with my left hand when I have nothing in either one of my hands. Okay, I'm going to pick it up with my right hand just because.
Just because. But if you say, yo, maybe you should pick it up with your left hand, then I might think about it and say, you know, maybe it might be beneficial. Just maybe I might listen this
right
time.
Free to do something.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean? But a lot of people don't function off that. There's some people that you have to tell them how to do it. Because if you don't tell them how to do it, they'll be lost in the sauce and just be looking at you crazy. Like, what am I supposed to do? You got to give them an option. There's a lot of people like that.
That's very true. There's a lot of people where it's like you could present them with an idea of something like, yo, I noticed that you typically handle things this way. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? So you literally have to like approach them in the situation. Like, remember that time I said you handled things like this? This is one of the situations where you're handling the thing the way I said you handle it. And that's the only way for them to understand what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, in my experience, I've done this and I've gotten like backlash for it. Like, why are you always bringing something up? Like, I'm trying to help you understand what I'm
Get
seeing.
through what, like, I'm seeing it from a different view.
They're not they're not in the right space to receive. And that's kind of what I was going to say to Neddie, piggyback off what Neddie Boo said to answer Javi's question. You have to know your audience. You have to know the person that you're speaking to. You have to know how they're going to receive. You have to know how to communicate with them. So for me, it depends on who I'm talking to. Depending on who I'm talking to, I have to know how to use language with that particular person so that they're able to receive. And some people, no matter what you say or how you say it, they just ain't listening to you. There's those. However, at the simultaneously, when you know who you're talking to, you know how to communicate with them. So I think that.
True too.
Yo, y'all keep on saying stuff. This is gonna be a good episode because you say stuff and I'm like thinking about it, and then like the question that you asked about men keeping each other accountable, right? And it's a weird question because we're around the same age. We're Tauruses. I don't know what that means, but it means something to somebody.
What it means is that Tauruses are known to be stubborn.
Yeah.
And I agree 100%.
I think so.
However,
grounded and level-headed.
Right. However, I don't think it's a bad stubbornness. Like you just said, you got to give me options. What I've been learning from Neddie Boo is that Tauruses, they're logical people. So yeah, you might want me to do something, but I need it to make sense. So before I do this, let's make it make sense. So I don't think it's stubbornness. It just can't be something stupid.
With that being said, like at my old age now, I don't have a friend.
Listen, we not old. Would y'all stop claiming that foolishness?
I'm proud of that. Like, listen, I'm a married.
Listen,
I ain't outside, bro.
I'm at an age
It
right
doesn't
now.
matter if you're outside or inside. We are not
I'm at an
old.
age right now where I can date you or I can date your mother.
Exactly. And your grandmother.
Back to men holding men accountable.
And your grandmother.
Back to men holding men
You know what I'm saying? I told
accountable.
my wife that the other day. I think
Serious
that's what it
business.
is.
I'm dead serious.
Yeah, it's
know.
true. Yo, 40, like 40, late 30s, early 40s is the year for men. But anyways, with that being said, like at this point in my life, I'm looking at my circle of friends and I don't hang with anybody that I'm gonna have to hold that accountable. Like most of the people I hang with are either people in my same situation or in situations that they can generally handle. I'm there for my friends, my brothers, if they need me for like, cause no matter how good you are in life, whatever thing's gonna happen, like medical stuff. But for the most part, I look at some of my other friends who are still outside and they get frustrated because they got to tell the idiot, the dunce of the group, to stop being a dunce every single time they go out. For me, I'm just not. I might be an asshole for that, but I ain't hanging out with the dude. I'm sorry. Yeah,
That makes sense.
It does make sense because honestly, even when I reflect back, I still have the same friends, but we're also evolving mentally. So our thought process isn't the same as when we started off as friends when we were like 20. You know what I'm saying? So most of us are evolving pretty much kind of at the same time, and we're learning from one another. We're all in a space of learning. So we're kind of like-minded individuals right now is pretty much what you're saying. The close friends that you have right now are like-minded individuals. So the accountability thing isn't really too much in your friend group. However, they probably come to you to bounce ideas off of life with you. That's another way to have, healthy accountability in friendships. So although you may think the friend group doesn't have a lot of accountability going on, you probably still do.
My friend group has changed. My friend group did a whole 180 in the last 3 years.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
3 years. The
Yeah.
last 3 years, my friend group has done a whole 180. I had friends that were a lot younger than me, especially me DJing and whatever. But now they're lucky if I pick up the phone when they call me.
It be like that sometimes.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
I'm really big on my peace. And
when
a lot of
people
them
come in with
have
the foolishness,
I have no time for it.
they got drama.
And I get ignorant, and I be trying my best.
Bones said no drama with me. I like that.
I don't want no drama. I don't want none of that. So certain numbers call my phone. I'll look at it. If they don't send me a text, it couldn't have been that important. That's just how I look at it.
I thought I was bad.
You didn't send me a text. Oh, they'd be like, yo, I called you the other day. It's like, oh, I meant to call you back, bro.
No, you didn't.
lying.
Why lie? Just say the truth.
Nah, I meant to call you back, bro.
No, why? Just be like, oh,
What's up? You got me now.
It feels better that way.
Okay.
I'd be like, what's up? You got me now.
So what's up? My bad. What's up? We here now.
Yo, women be looking for the drama though.
Huh?
Women be looking for the drama.
Yeah.
That's
You
what
prefer me
just.
how?
They do. Some of them do.
Yo, example
How's that
number one
looking
just
for the
now.
drama?
Some of them do.
My man just say, yo, listen, I'm a lie to keep the peace.
So here's my thing. I've never understood lying to keep the peace. Because who are you keeping the peace with?
What you mean lying to keep the peace?
That's what Javi just said.
I wouldn't say.
It's not lying, not lying. It's
I
like
wouldn't say
admitting
lying.
the
I
truth.
would say withholding information.
Boom.
Which is intentionally holding. So when you intentionally withhold information, which is called omission, it's still a lie because it was the intent. The intent was you withheld the information. It was on purpose. It's not like you accidentally forgot to tell them. No, you on purposely, intentionally didn't share the information. So it's still a lie. On purpose to keep your peace.
Because I withheld the information to save myself from an argument that I didn't want to have. Let me
you
ask
know
you a
what?
question
I
real
get
quick.
that.
What
I
do you
get
think?
that. I'm not saying no. However, again, it's still a question for me. I don't believe in lying to keep the peace.
Let me ask you let me ask a question. What's worse? You asking someone a question and have an argument, or not have an argument, period?
So for me, I don't even argue. I accept people's responses to stuff. I'm like, oh, all right, that's cool. And I just adjust.
On the other side of that, like if you were honest with someone and they wanted to argue with
Right,
you.
I know. I get what he's saying. I'm not saying no. If you can avoid a problem, you avoid the problem. I get it. But I'm not lying.
Yeah, me either.
You know what
honestly,
that is, right? You just
I'll
don't
accept
really
the
like
argument.
anybody.
And I'm not even an arguer.
You just don't.
What?
Really
What do you
like
mean
anybody.
I don't like
Because
anybody?
when someone really likes you, they're gonna argue with you. Like they're going to, if you miss that call, you don't answer in time, they are going to argue with you. I go through this all the time.
That's a problem to me. I'm sorry. I'm not going through that with anyone. What do you mean? You're there.
Okay,
Why would you be arguing for? What is there to argue
There are
about?
people out here.
Right, and I'm not one of those people.
That's you.
That doesn't mean I don't like you.
That's you.
I think
Exactly.
Neddie Boo and I.
Text message to my phone.
That has nothing to do with me. I am not those people. I am not arguing with you because you didn't pick up the phone.
Or because you told me the
happens. Or because you told me the truth.
I'd very much prefer.
I don't.
What if it sounds crazy to you?
And usually when it sounds crazy to me, you could tell by my face. I'd be looking at.
Look, didn't she just explain to you I'm a logical person? If it don't make sense, I'm just going to ask more questions until it makes sense.
Until it does.
That's not an
And now
argument.
you getting mad because
But
you're
I
getting
need
caught
you
up
to
in your
explain
lie.
that doesn't make sense to me. You can't make me believe something that doesn't make sense.
That's literally an argument.
No, it's not.
Someone trying, like you having a back and forth conversation with somebody.
It's
trying
a
to figure.
It's a conversation.
You know what? Tomatoes, tomatoes. Okay?
We're having a
tomatoes.
conversation
It's not. No, it's
now.
not.
I think it's a conversation.
So if I told you the sky was orange
Explain
and
it
we're
to me.
looking at it and it's blue
I'm not even going to call you a liar. I want you to explain it to me. How are you getting orange?
because I said so. That was it. That's it.
You're wrong. The sky is not orange.
You can tell me.
Yo,
So you see me?
So now
you call
Hold
you a
on,
liar.
real
the
quick.
sky is orange.
Real quick.
So you know what? I'm going to let you believe that. But I'm going to tell you the sky is not orange. And I don't want
you
you to
can't
tell
tell me-
nobody else that.
No, but I'm telling you that the sky
So
is
wait,
orange.
hold on, real quick.
because
Pause.
of this.
Look, quick time out.
Me
You
and
see
Neddie
that?
arguing right
a
now.
good discussion
That wouldn't
slash
have been me.
argument. Oh, yeah.
I checked out as soon as
Yeah.
let's rewind real quick. Go
As
ahead
soon as
and
I said it was orange, you done checked out already.
checked out.
Oh,
Okay. No. You know when I checked out? Because I said something. I'm going to be like, wait, what? And then when you explain it and be like, because I said something, like, oh, all right, that's cool.
okay.
Yo, I'm not going back and forth.
So that's the same as withholding information. Because
No,
you're
it's
not.
not.
Gonna correct it.
What am I correcting? Who am
You're not
I?
trying to
Hold
correct
on.
And
Wait.
that's why
wait.
I went the route I went. You're wrong. The sky is not orange. Well, I said it's orange. Okay. I'm going to let you keep that. I'm letting you know
Well,
the
you want
sky
me to
is not
explain it.
orange. You explained it to me because
Okay,
you
the
said
sky is
so.
orange.
So I'm going to let you
It's
keep
orange.
that. Just letting you know the sky is not orange. Let's move on. Let's talk about something else.
I
What's on
wouldn't-
this flyer right here?
No, you see that right there? My heart is racing. My heart is palpitating. You see the back and forth?
I feel like they need to go to relationship
can't-
counseling or something.
I can't do that.
Because I let him keep his orange sky?
I'm just an outside observer.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just an outside observer.
But I'm a very truthful person, so I'm not. I don't.
Because see, to me,
I just
in my
withhold
head,
information at time.
to me in my head, You feeling that the sky is orange has nothing to do with me.
It's a bigger problem than just me telling
That's
you.
fantastic, and that's your problem. It has nothing to do with me.
Exactly.
You may have a vision thing going on. So who am I to tell you how you seeing something? I'm not gonna go back and forth with you about what you looking at and how you looking at it. Absolutely not.
You can keep it.
Only because y'all together is a mess. I'm gonna have to rank y'all up a little bit.
This is.
I'm sorry.
We've been on the
That's
orange
just-
thing for a while now.
Say that again?
We've been on the orange thing for a while now. Just
Okay.
We've been on the orange thing.
Yeah.
My apologies.
Yeah.
So with
It's
that being
about the
said,
argument.
we can bring it right back to the males, holding males accountable. You said that you do
gonna
it.
hold
You
him
said that you're in a
accountable?
receiving space. You said
know
that
what
you
that
are
means
blessed.
to
Hold
y'all.
on. Wait, what's going on? We wrapping up the first topic so we can move on because
Understand what it means.
understand what mean.
Holding a man accountable.
I don't like. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know when people, women and men say like we got to hold each other accountable. I don't know if we're talking about the same stuff sometimes. Like I don't know if we're. I don't know
We
if
gave
we're,
examples.
It's a
Yeah.
it's a vast.
But I don't know if those are the examples that usually pop up when people when I hear it.
The main examples that usually pop up for holding a man accountable is him cheating in his relationship, him not taking care of his kids, him not working or trying to do better. Those are things you hold a guy accountable for.
All right, so quick question. So since those are the ones too, is that it as far as cheating? You guys don't be like, you don't take your girl out. You think she want to get out the house, fam?
No, I
y'all don't do
hold
stuff
guys
like that?
accountable
Okay.
for that because
Okay,
that's
just
what
as
she
long
got.
as-
she should be speaking up on that end.
I was just
I
asking.
think she should be speaking
Because I'm
up on
pretty
that
sure she might.
Any ex-girlfriend I've had would absolutely tell me like,
I'm just giving an example
for a
to
while.
throw it out
What is
there.
going on here? Who are you taking out?
Because if you ain't doing it with me, you're doing it with somebody.
Who are you taking
But what about the cheating thing though? I think like for me, the cheating thing is what I hear most.
No, I absolutely agree. I'm not trying to dismiss it, but I'm just giving other examples throughout it to see how far or how limited it is. I'm just giving examples, being hypothetical.
Can I ask you a question, Panda?
Absolutely.
So, like, say hypothetically speaking,
Okay.
right? You are a faithful man, right? But you have friends that aren't necessarily as faithful as you are, and they tell you in confidence that, yo, bro, I'm messing with boom boom, and my girl don't know. So, what can I tell him? Right?
I'm not a firm believer in cheating. I'm a firm believer in if you're not happy to leave, and that's for anyone, man or woman. If you feel like you have to step out of your relationship and be with someone else because you're seeking desire of affection or whatever it is you're looking for in someone else that you're not getting in your relationship, or you might be getting it and you're being selfish, I honestly feel like you should leave. I do not think anyone should ever cheat. It does too much emotional damage. So with that being said, whether I'm in the situation as a man or a woman, I don't condone cheating. So I would definitely tell them, hey, I'm not supporting this. Like, don't involve me in it. I think you should come clean or stop what you're doing, or both, who knows. But I don't want any parts of this. Honestly and truthfully, I'd be like, I don't.
The best way to clear that up is to ask them straight, like, bro, how would you feel if she was doing it?
That part.
I think guys do that. I think guys legitimately have that
know if they
conversation.
do. That's what I'm
But I feel
asking.
like there's this feeling that men don't do that.
Not a guy
Yeah.
in the world that would want, there's not a cheating guy in the world that would want any of the girls he's dealing with someone else. They're going to feel away. No matter what. It could be his side thing or whatever it is. It's like a sickening type of jealousy that guys have. I'm being honest.
I know.
That guys have when it comes to that. You know what I mean? Like if you cheat on your girl and then you find out your girl cheated on that, bro, she'll be over that in a couple weeks. You are holding on to that for months.
Probably life.
For months. Like you're not getting, like guys don't heal quickly.
So it sounds like to me, for you two, is holding someone accountable is trying to get them to stop.
Right. Or to at least understand the consequences of what's going on. A lot of guys go into it not thinking about
The consequences. They're just thinking about the right now. They're not thinking about the after.
We're in 2025, and I know a lot of girls that if they find out their man's cheating, they're not even going to say anything right away.
Hey.
They are going to get their get back,
Oh, no.
go about their business, and let the whole relationship dwindle away, and then the guy will find out, and he'll be done for. I've seen it.
I have too.
So-
I'm not doing all that though.
Because
I know.
I don't know, the way that I navigate my friendships, I'm a safe space for my friends, right? So when you come to me with this information, I'm going to continue to be a safe space for you. But what I'm always going to do is have the conversation about what the consequences look like. What are you risking? Are you willing to lose it? Because it could definitely happen if you continue on this way. If you continue down this path, this is what ultimately is going to happen. However, what I don't want to do is make this space not safe for you anymore. I don't want you to feel like every time you come talk to me, I'm going to like chastise you and make you feel bad for what you're doing. Because what I've heard from men, and I'm not justifying, I'm not saying I condone it or anything, but I've heard like it's almost like a sickness. Like they can't help it. You know what I'm saying? So be the safe. I'm going to continue to be the safe space. Like you can continue to come talk to me. More reason because I know that your information is safe with me, right? I know that
it goes even deeper
the
than that.
conversation is safe with me, so I'm going to continue to be this safe space. But we will always follow that up with a conversation about what you're risking here, whatever it may be. Like, are you risking your health? Are you risking your relationship? You're risking your family. You're risking your job. You're risking certain benefits that you may be having.
You're risking.
All of the. We're going to have that conversation, but I don't want you to feel like you're not safe here.
I think it goes deeper than that. I think 90% of guys have never really been in love. Like they've never really been in that point of actually being in love.
Can we process that?
Like it's
this
different.
ain't even one of the topics, but
it's not one of the topics.
But can we go?
It's a serious
is
thing.
it okay?
I'll be honest.
Are you guys okay with this?
I've been in love before. Like,
what did that feel like for you?
Being in love is when nothing else, no one else mattered.
Okay.
Like, a 10 stripper dime could walk past me, tell me whatever she's wanted, and I'll be sick to my stomach, like, get away from me.
Aww.
But a lot of guys never felt that. They get to a certain point, they either close off, or they get to a certain point where they'll go out and talk to someone just to, like, not feel like a sucker. You know what I mean? And that's why when a guy does fall in or he gets too far in, it's so hard for them to come back. You know what I mean? I've seen guys weighing 280 pounds, their girl break up with them, and 2 months later they weigh 195 pounds. And
you stress, heartache.
Done for. They don't even know what to do with themselves. You know what I mean? But like girls will fall in love, a girl falls in love with you, you don't have to worry about that once you know if she's in love with you. A guy, it's harder for a guy to fall in love, but it's also harder for a guy to get over it if it doesn't work. You know what I mean? And that's what it's at.
You dropping tea out here.
I'm
Y'all, you hear that, ladies?
I've been through it. I know.
He said, I'm speaking from experience.
I'm speaking from experience.
Amen.
And that is a major thing. Like guys are scared to actually like fully vest into their woman. A lot of guys.
So then why do it?
Why do what?
Why invest?
I mean, when you feel it's that one, you don't have an option not to. It just happens. It just happens. But if there's anything that's fighting that, you're gonna go out and do whatever. Sometimes guys sabotage their own relationships.
Yeah, you know what?
But I'm gonna chill. I ain't gonna go there. I ain't gonna go there, bro. I won't go there. I'm not traumatized.
No,
I'm keeping it in the buck. I'm keeping it 100.
For me, I don't think it's traumatizing because I've heard this before.
Yeah.
I have 3 brothers. I've heard this before. I've heard this. And I listen to when guys speak also. I've learned that along the journey of life. You got to really listen to when they speak. You got to listen to when people speak. So I've heard this before. It's not like I haven't. But just to add to that, even though I've heard it before, yes, it is still traumatizing.
It is traumatizing.
I ain't gonna lie, it's still traumatizing because I'm a lover girl and I'd be like, Delulu. But then you sit down and you think about the way men that have nothing with you, that really just speaking to you to give you facts on how men think and process life, you'd be like, damn, if these are the people that are close to me are feeling, I'm pretty sure the men out there, this is how they're operating. And it is traumatizing. It can be. Because then, go ahead. Sorry, Neddie Boo.
It's sad because women feel the same way.
Yeah.
We're so scared to open up and let someone in or just be vulnerable because what you gonna do with it? Like if I let you in and I truly just like open myself up to you, what are you gonna do with that? What are you gonna do with me? What are you gonna do with my emotions? What are you gonna do with all of this
that I'm giving you?
I'm not gonna do it. So
you're gonna
to
have
know that you're also feeling the same way, what is the conversation you have, or what can you do to overcome that? You know what I'm saying?
We live in a society right now is crazy.
Especially, sorry, not to cut you off. Hold your thought, please. Especially, right? So I am fortunate enough to not be on the dating scene, but especially for people our age that are still dating, you're running across people that you know from your past who have these reputations, right? But I'm meeting you for the first time. You're crossing my path for the first time. I know how you were with that person.
You might not be the same
way with me? And now we're stuck in this like loop of what you gonna do with me? What you gonna do with me? How you gonna handle me? How you gonna handle me? That's crazy. Sad. I'm so sorry.
Listen, and I think that might bring us into the next segue of, knowing people from the past and them having some type of a reputation. DJs don't have really good reps out here, Mr. Super Bonez.
All right, so let's get to this one.
You being a DJ for all these wonderful, fantastic years because of your background. 25 years.
Damn.
Right. So that's about half of your life.
Yeah. Well, more than half.
Damn. It's just about I'm just saying it's about half. Can you roll with that? Can you roll with that?
How old are you?
42.
That's why I said just about half. Listen, we're not going to sit here and be down to the T of the numbers. Anyhow, why is it that you think, from your perspective, that male DJs have a bad rep?
Male DJs have a bad rep because we're in the limelight.
Yeah, what?
We're in the limelight.
Oh.
Everyone sees what we're doing. We're outside on the weekends. We're DJing. It's the same thing like you're looking at going online and you're seeing Cardi B with this one or this one. It's going to get promoted more because you're known. Like, push come to shove, to be honest, a DJ is like a local celebrity. Especially when that's being booked or that's playing in all these different places. People are going to see them outside. They're going to see what's going on, and they're going to talk about it. Oh, I saw Bonez with this one this week. Then I saw him with this one that week. They don't even know what's going on. It's just them seeing it. They're going to give it motion, thinking it could be more than it is. The DJs aren't doing anything more than what a normal guy is doing. So
I have a quick question. I was just about to say, do you think that's a people thing? Because I'm not a DJ, and God forbid, I'm with my son, my man child. I'm with my man. If people don't know that I have adult children, I'm with my man. Let them tell it.
But that's just people.
And I'm not a DJ.
Making their own thoughts
story up in their head. So you don't think DJs deserve the rep they got?
They don't deserve the rep they got. No, we don't. There are DJs out there that are using it. There are DJs that use their DJing, prowess to do whatever they're doing. But take me for example. You guys have known me for a minute. Anybody that I was dealing with, people would know I was dealing with them. You would see me with them regularly. They would even be on my social media, whatever it is. A lot of people look at it and say, oh, if they saw me and her walking randomly, we could be walking to the corner store. A couple hours later, someone would be like, yo, I saw Bonez with so-and-so.
Yeah.
Then it turns into a whole hoopla.
Because I feel like DJs are easy. Y'all are easy. Because it don't take nothing to pull a DJ.
Why? What you mean it don't take nothing to pull a DJ?
Pull a DJ. DJs are easy. Because of what you said, y'all in the limelight.
Yeah, just because we're in the limelight. But sometimes people take it as, okay, this DJ is replying to me, talking back and forth to me. He could have no aspirations of doing anything with you, but you see that $25 you paying to come to a party,
it's going in his pocket.
We need that.
So do you think flirting is part of the gig?
Kind of, dude. You could almost put being a DJ with being a stripper.
Oh, dang.
Oh my God.
Let's be serious.
Damn.
Think about it.
Oh my.
And I'm a DJ. I'm gonna keep it 100. But
So wait.
I'm nice to a lot of people that I would not be nice to because I know they're coming outside. They will come outside because I'm playing an event or I'm DJing an event. So that turns into a DJ being a...
No. I feel like that's an entrepreneur though. Like you have to network.
You have to network,
to sell your
correct.
business. You have to be cordial. In some instances, friendly, right? To sell your business. So
I
So
see what he's
everything you
saying, though.
said describes what strippers do too,
I
right?
see what he's saying, though,
you can be a
because
stripper, you could be any kind of entrepreneur.
no, not
strippers
necessarily.
get the bad rap.
Listen, I see what he's saying. Hear me out real quick. Because sex sells.
It sells.
And a lot of times, not all the time, there's moments where men and women can be easy. So if a dude is in chicks' DMs, they're promoting an event and she's man crazy and he's like, I'm getting you and your girls in for free. Who don't like free?
Right.
Me and my girls, it's like 12 of us.
But they're not thinking.
Just hypothetically,
they're
it's not.
thinking we're getting you in for free so you can spend the money you're going to
bar.
spend at the bar because
At
we
the
got a bar minimum that
Right.
we got to hit. So guess what? I'll
it's
take
all-
the L right there.
So
Go spend at the
again,
bar.
it's sex selling. It's not just being entrepreneurship, because when you're doing entrepreneurship and you're networking, you're not flirting. You're selling your business, like professionally speaking. There's no googly eyes. There's no, omission of information. There's no nothing. You're being straight cut to the point about your business. You're not going around in circles. You're not tiptoeing like, no, it's not. Hi, I'm so-and-so. I'm the owner, CEO of this. When you DJing or when you're stripping, it's more like, hey, what's up? You know what I mean? So I see what he's trying to say with the comparison, and I get it.
And it also depends
Yes, it
on-
is entrepreneurship because you have to have the people skill. However, when it's gender crossing like that I can definitely see the sex sell comparison.
So you don't do the same thing with guys?
No, he's definitely not hitting up no dude
we're
like,
not
yo, I'm gonna
hitting
get
up
you
dude.
and all your boys in for free.
Not like
doing
that, but he said that he's friendly with a lot of people that he wouldn't necessarily be friendly with because he knows that they will come out. That doesn't include men.
No, that portion does include men.
Okay.
That does. I would say, yo, what up, bro?
The approach is different.
The whole
Approach is different, but it's
approach is
still
different.
like
That part
Certain
would be networking.
That's networking, but
That part is
other than it's
networking.
not.
But
Dude,
when
you know how many? I feel like
So
sometimes
do you
a
feel
guy
like-
feel like the president in the club. You give a hug. You giving a hug to everybody, just to give them a hug, just to acknowledge their presence in it.
But so I have a question. So do you feel like your interaction with women has to be exclusively that? Or can you also approach women in the same way? Like, what's up?
You can
having
approach
an
them in the
event?
same way, but you want to make them feel good and feel like they coming out. Like if it's a guy, what up, bro? You know what I'm saying? We're drinking this in here tonight. But if it's a girl, you see them walking up the door, you're gonna tell them they look nice. You don't even care. You probably can't even tell you what they had on. You're gonna say, yo, you look great today. Good job. Boom, boom, boom. Make sure you get a picture, or you take a picture with them.
So I feel like that's being nice. I don't know.
Being
Maybe
nice,
I'm not.
it's
maybe
getting
I'm naive.
it's getting portrayed as, DJs are this, or DJs do this, DJs do that. Half of them don't. Half of the time after the club, a DJ is going straight home.
Yo, honestly, I wouldn't have believed Bonez till I got into like the content business. Like I collect comic books, not sneakers. Like I'm a nerdish kind of guy. I'm married. Everybody knows I'm married.
Right.
But having my camera with me, if I go to like a concert and I'm backstage and like I'm not even talking to the people performing, but I'm just there and people see you there, especially some women that's attractive to people, right? Like that access, like, oh, he's somewhere that I can't be, like, and just owning a business as a black man, to be honest with you,
It's crazy.
You're gonna be surrounded by women because that's who's in that. Like women, black women in particular, right? They got their college degrees faster than anybody other group in this country, right? Like y'all, women are doing it,
bro. A major part of our economy is based on black women.
Yeah, you gotta be if you
guys spend money to impress or for black women. Black women spend money to make themselves feel good, look good, and they're big on their appearance. A lot of it circles off of that. You know what I mean? Dude, I even the same as you saying, me talking to guys about, you know, coming to parties and all that. Dude, I will name drop girls that's gonna be in there.
To get them there?
Just to get them to come in. Because these dudes is coming. A lot of these girls got social medias and they have fans that they don't even realize. Like there's guys that she's gonna be in there? Bet, I'm pulling up.
Yup. And we'll stand in the corner and won't
say a damn thing.
just to watch.
Just to be watching to see what's going on. And then 2 days later, it might try to slide a harder story or something. It's nonstop.
I'm sorry, I'm talking way more than I usually do. And usually people
and this is good.
in this space, again, I think photographers have a similar reputation, but most of the photographers, like the first, it didn't have to be told to me, but one of the first things told to me was like, don't mess with anybody you're working with, right? Don't mess up your money. And with that being said, like I can talk to like an extreme, like one of the people I work with is a fitness influencer with tens of thousands of followers, right? Guys don't even come up to her. I talk to her normally because I'm talking to her as a friend and as a business partner. So a lot of these women, the only men that really come up to them and talk to them with any type of confidence are the people they're working with. You know what I mean? So I mean, it makes sense. The math works out that there's gonna be some intermingling, but I don't think it's as bad as people think it is. I think it's like you said earlier, it's a perception.
Bro, I have female soca artist friends that I talk to like I would talk to you. And they will hold a conversation with me for hours. And you could see me with them somewhere like in Miami or somewhere like that. And people are terrified to even say anything to them. They're terrified to even interact with people. It's almost like, is it worth being that? Like, does it make sense?
Right.
Like, how can you look for something long-term and stable in that environment? I'll keep it 1,000% with you right now. I will not date a girl I meet in a party. To this day. If I meet you in a club or in a party, we're not, that's it.
Why?
No, there's no way.
Why?
Because you know me as Supah, you don't know me as Darnell.
Okay, so why can't I get to know you out the club?
Too late.
Why?
It's too late. We have to interact later on. Maybe if it's meant to be, we'll circle the block and I might see you in the chicken spot. Then we could have a conversation.
You know, I met my husband in the club.
Huh?
I met my husband in the club.
That's different. But your
That's
husband,
different. That's different.
But your husband is in the club, but he's not in the club.
Working.
Right, working on
You working.
the entertainment scene that I'm in there.
I'm gonna let Neddie Boo tell her husband's story.
I know who my husband is.
You was standing right in.
So she's just saying though. She's just saying.
Your wife could be.
She's just saying your wife could be in the club.
So if you're
If it's my
okay.
wife, we'll
So
cross paths.
if his wife has been coming to all his parties that he's DJing at, and
Stop
he
coming,
won't
girl.
talk to you.
Don't go there no more.
What chicken spot you be at, so she can come and find you?
anyone you can find me across the street.
How often you go to the chicken spot in an hour?
In which chicken
She's not
spot?
watching right. She might not be watching right now.
Your wife might be watching.
Try it
Bonez.
out.
Your wife might be watching.
Look for him at chicken spot, girl.
And being that, even though you say you're single and you might wait, before we get there, are we
he's
done
not
with this
mingling,
topic?
but go get him.
Yeah, we're done with this topic.
We done with this one?
My point.
Chicken spot. Stop talking about the chicken spot.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I want his wife to get
Piece
him.
with fries.
So, our last
Does she gotta pay
topic.
for your chicken?
No, I pay for mine. I pay for everything.
Oh, okay.
I'll buy her chicken if it's worth it.
Sorry, I can stop talking about the chicken.
If it's worth it.
Y'all ready for the last topic?
Yeah, let's go.
Do you think it's possible to find everything in one person?
No.
Nope.
Absolutely not.
Let's go.
A long-term relationship is going to involve compromise. Like, you are not going to find a perfect person. Initially, everyone seems perfect. When in the whole courting stage, getting ready, getting to know people, yeah. But you can only keep up that facade for so long. So you gotta you have to understand what you're willing to compromise with and what you're not. And that is the major thing. Like, me, I'm easygoing. I don't really care. Like, there's certain things that I look for. If you have those things, I'm good with it. But then there's certain things that I know for a fact I can't deal with.
Right.
Once those things rear its ugly little head, I'm out faster than she's out. You told me.
I don't leave fast. I didn't say that. I just said I don't. There's certain things I'm not dealing with.
All right. Well, I'm not dealing with it.
But the things that we'll deal with are totally different things.
Absolutely.
So, are you done with your piece? Because I want to hear Neddie Boo.
I'm done. Yes. I don't even want
Neddie Boo.
to go any further.
When I think about the question, can one person have everything? I say no, because as I matured in life, I've learned the importance of friends. So there are certain things that I really enjoy doing that my spouse will never like doing. I like arts and craft. He does not like arts and craft. I like...
The other day, pay night.
Oh, no. When I say arts and craft, I like, we decorate jackets and make hats.
Yeah.
We a hat.
Yeah, I like stuff like that. He doesn't care at all. He doesn't even care about the final product. But it's like you said, compromise is very important. You could want that in your spouse and have a fight every time you buy matching jackets and say, let's put hubby and wifey on this and decorate this together. And he's sitting there like, I got my patch. I got one patch and I'm good. And then you just have a fight because why don't you like this more? Because he doesn't like it. So you get that. That's why your village is so important. You get your village of friends, you have your male friends, your female friends, and you just fulfill your life with multiple people around you. So that's what I think about when I think about one person being everything. Not one friend can be your everything friend.
Right. I got different best friends for different situations. Exactly.
So that's where my mind goes with it, because in my group of friends, there are some that like doing these things. There are some that like doing these things. So when I want to go here, these are the people I call. When I want to do this, these are the people I call. Even though my friends like doing everything that I do. So that's for you, not for me.
You know what's my test? My test in that whole thing is, if I'm talking to someone for a while, take a trip with them.
And then see.
Take a trip. Take 3-4 days, go somewhere, and see if that trip goes
accordingly.
Or see if you pick up on other things that you wouldn't pick up on here.
So can you hold that thought real quick so I can give my response?
Go ahead.
Okay. So real quick. So for me, I think it depends on what you're looking for. And I don't believe in perfection, but I do believe in effort. I don't think there's a such thing as a perfect person. So with that being said, I think you can find everything in one person depending on what you're looking for. If I'm just using as an example, if Neddie Boo had a penis, she would be my perfect person. Why? Because she would, I'm just saying. Why? Because she holds me accountable. She's apologetic when she knows she did something she shouldn't have done. Because again, to me, there's no such thing as a perfect person. She has communication skills. If she's running late, if. Neddie Boo communicates effectively. There's no ands, if, how, but, why when speaking with Neddie Boo. I'm just giving an example of things, and I do have several friends like that. So yes, common interests play an important part, where she said certain things she enjoys, her spouse doesn't, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not looking for, or possibly, not to say not looking for a best friend. However, I do think you can find everything in one person depending on what it is that you're looking for. So for me, most of the stuff that I'm looking for is just common human decency. Mm-hmm. And if you can have that, to me, I can kind of work with everything else because I'm pretty accepting of people as long as you're not a bad person. So that's just for me.
That's very true.
That's just for me. If I notice that, you do somebody wrong or do some type of injustice and you sit there and you can self-reflect and be like, damn, I really messed up with that. How can I fix this or XYZ? To me, that's a good person. So I can rock with somebody like that.
Communications.
Yeah, I can rock with somebody like that. I have a lot of friends that are in my life. To me, if they had penises, they would be my perfect person just because the way they conduct themselves as a human being. The other stuff, like the little things, like if somebody's messy, I could deal with that. I feel like, damn, I just noticed that, and you pick it up or whatever. But messiness and nastiness is two different things. So
Correct.
Then the other thing, that's when to me the other stuff comes in. But typically for me, the basic human decency of how you treat people, how you carry yourself, are you apologetic? Do you self-reflect? Can you? Those are like, to me, the important things of finding anything in a person. So for me, with that type of a perspective, yes, I think you can find everything in one person. But then when you guys add like the common interests, it might get a little wavy there, depending on what
that's where the compromise will come in.
Right, the compromising. Like, can I deal with, is this something I could deal with forever? And most of the times I get people, and as long as I can understand how or why you act this way, more than likely I'd be like, this person ain't that bad. You just don't understand them.
Right. That makes sense.
So for me, to answer the question, I do think you can, depending on what it is you're looking for.
Right.
The question wasn't if you can find a person. The question is, can you find everything you
So yes,
need
you can find
one
to
person?
me, you can find.
But so
I just need you to apologize. I need you to self-reflect. I need you to be able to communicate with me. Those are things I need, if that makes sense.
Got you. So the wording to me, everything you need is me looking at myself as a person. What is it that I need? And that's why I bring in the common interest, is because not only is it things that I like, I need to be able to exhale this way. I need to be able to do this way. I need to be able to do this way. And I have people in my life that I can do that with, or that I can depend on that with. Not all one person. And I feel like when people look for that in one person, it's a little selfish, because that's a lot for one person to hold.
I guess.
And I feel like we're approaching the question from different perspectives. You get what I'm saying?
It could be that too.
It's kind of like, what are you willing to work on with a person?
Yeah, but that's what you said too, the compromise, you know?
To an extent.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can compromise and be like, all right, I'm not going to get this from this person. Whatever.
And that's when the other people in your village come in and fulfill those purposes.
But there's also things, what am I willing to work on with this person? Like if say you're dating a guy and he doesn't bring flowers and things like that, you're going to remind him like, oh, some flowers would be nice.
Yeah.
Is he going to adjust and randomly pop up with flowers? That's the kind of thing you got to pay attention to.
Right.
If he's not doing that, then you're not going to get that.
It's not going to work. Right.
Not going to happen.
And you need to determine, do you need flowers from your spouse?
Right.
Or could the
Do you need flowers in general?
anywhere?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's, to me anyway, that's where I feel like the compromise part comes in. But with that being said, I don't want to cut anybody